There we go. Are you excited or what, Micah, to be starting the show in just a couple of minutes?
Yeah, that's usually Cheryl's question, the question you asked Cheryl, and she's always excited. And yeah, so I'll just take over for Cheryl. Yeah, I'm very excited. I hope this Micah guy is turns out to be great. I hope he sticks around for the entire interview. And by the way, I love on assignment. Is that what you said, Doc? On assignment?
I did indeed. And by the way, Cheryl, my co-host, is on assignment this week.
I love that. I'm going to use that in a sentence every day. Do you know how fast you were going, Mr. Cover? Oh, officer, I'm on assignment. Oh, well, you can go
Off you
then,
go
Mr.
then.
Cover. Yes. Yeah. Why weren't you at work today, Micah? Oh, I'm on assignment. I didn't say so. Yes, we owe you double time. We owe you overtime. Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
love it.
Doc. I live my life by your principles, Doc. So thank you for for always teaching us how to live
You
life.
might be in trouble if you live your life by my principles. Now, my vice principles, perhaps you'd be doing better, but certainly
What's
not my principles. Let's all buckle ourselves up and get the show on the road, shall we? You may remember me from my television shows in the 1980s and 90s, and now I host two regularly live streamed virtual magic shows. One is a showcase for some of the greatest magicians in the world, and the other is a talk show featuring some of the most inspiring conjurers of our times. Welcome now to Magical People. Everybody to Magical People Live. This week, our very, very special guest is the great Micah Cover. Let's put our hands together for Micah. Thank you so much, Micah, for honoring us and agreeing to come on the show this week. I always say when someone agrees to come on the show, they've obviously not seen the show before. So, but
yeah.
thank you nonetheless. Now, I was going to start off by saying the very cliche thing. Micah Cover, you're a magician, an actor, a playwright. You know what you are, so I don't have to say what you are, but I do want to dig in a little bit because in as much as I think all of us feel like we know you for your numerous appearances on Open Mic Magic, a theater, look that up on Facebook every Wednesday. But as well, my Friday Night Wizard Emporium, you come on occasionally, and what a welcome, funny, mesmerizing addition you are to the show. But some stuff we don't know. For example, I didn't know that you were a playwright, and you've got right behind you on your graphics one of your plays, The Last Case of Dr. Watson, which we'll discuss more in depth in a couple of minutes. And that intrigued me because it appears to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you appear to be not only a Poe aficionado, but a Sherlock Holmes aficionado. When did all your interests start in these areas?
Fascinating question, Bill. I don't know what that means, Bill, but I love it when a man does this to me on the internet. So whatever that
Very
was,
young.
Bill, I appreciate
When
it.
you started very
Oh,
young.
very. Oh, that's what that means. That's okay. Okay. Where I'm from, that means something slightly different. But Bill, I will take that as a compliment. And Doc, thank you for that question. But before I do this, uh, everybody watch Rolf's screen. He literally comes out of outer space. It is, speaking of being a playwright, it is the best entrance I've ever seen. If Rolf decides to come back into the Zoom call, you will literally see him come out of what I think is the supernova. I mean, that is the most badass entrance I've been. And there he came out of us. There he is. There he is, my friends, scratching his own head, trying to figure out how did I get into this metaverse. Anyway, Doc, thank you for letting me be here. And yes, I promise I'm going to answer your questions. So, Doc, I'm betting you and I have similar answers to that same question because you, of course, are also into Poe. You're also into Sherlock Holmes. I got into him as a kid, but you mentioned The Raven before. And Doc, I don't know if we've talked about this, but I think you specifically would appreciate this. I think Tommy would as well. There's a line in the beginning of The Raven. Let's see. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. Now, most interpreters and actors, they just kind of breeze past that. Oh, he's probably in his library or something, which makes perfect sense. But Doc, to someone like you, like an occultist, like someone like Tommy, who's really into the kind of the edgy edge of magic, interpreters have realized, wait a minute, he might be talking about books on the occult, which completely
Yes.
changes everything this man says from now on. He's not just haunted by the memory of Lenore. No, he may be in the middle of summoning Lenore, who may or may not be coming in the form of this crazy black bird, who may or may not be dooming him to his future or predicting his future. As a magician, that changed everything for me. And before, I was just a fan of Poe. But once someone said that, and it wasn't even me who came up with this, it was another Poe scholar. I realized, oh my God, this guy is a magician. He's an occultist, and it changed everything I felt about the poem. And I've been a huge fan of Poe ever since that realization. And Sherlock Holmes, always been a fan as a kid. But Doc, as you know, there's an overlap between Sherlock Holmes and magic. And Watson, in his narration, often refers to Sherlock Holmes as the denouement, as something that a magician would do. When he lifts the lid off of the dinner plate, and suddenly the naval treaty is there or whatever, and Watson says, that was Holmes, that was like a magic trick. How did you do it? And there's this incredible overlap. And Doc, I would love to hear your thoughts on this because I'm betting those are similar reasons why you love those two literary figures as well.
Absolutely, as well, but also for some of the historical significance. Reading all the prose and all the background stuff about them. What fascinated me a little bit is the occult connection between the author of, say, the Sherlock Holmes. We'll call them mysteries, the Sherlock Holmes mysteries. I believe
Yeah.
his wife was an occultist or his girlfriend, and she would hold seances and or attend seances. So he was no stranger to things of that ilk. And that fascinates me. I believe he was also friends with Houdini because that's all within a similar time frame. Probably not, hopefully not knowing the true magical secrets, the stage secrets, but certainly conjuring up in his own mind perhaps how Houdini was doing much of his stuff, because so many people back then, they believed that Houdini indeed had some kind of occult mystical powers and could disintegrate and reappear somewhere else, like on Star Trek for those lay people out there. But we want to tip our hats to magicians, stage magicians like Houdini, who made it seem real. And for other folks, for example, who did dabble very much in the occult, for example, Poe and the authors of the Sherlock Holmes novels, you can taste it. You can almost, it's very palpable, the whole feel of mystery and almost fog and real magic, what we would call real magic, woven in and out throughout these beautiful, beautiful works. I want to share with everyone, and I'm doing this via video because I've seen you do this a couple of times. I've seen you recite The Raven as an actor, as a playwright, as a magician, as all of these things coming together. And it's very taxing, but then you seem to come back to yourself relatively soon afterwards. I'm going to spare you that, and we're going to show a not so recent video of you doing the Raven or reciting the Raven or acting out the Raven. I want everyone to enjoy this because this is very, very special.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, Suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door, only this and nothing more." I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow. Sorrow for the lost Lenore. Sorrow for the lost Lenore. For the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, vis some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." But presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping." And so gently you came rapping, and so faintly, faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the back into the chamber turning, all of my soul within me burning soon. Again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, and not a minute stop nor stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony fur beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy though thy quest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast, upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on that placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before." On the morrow he will leave me as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, taught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking with this ominous bird of yore, with this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking nevermore. Then I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl, whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. Listen more, I sat divining with my head at ease, reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press evermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfume from an unseen censer swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tough cry. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet said, I think thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. That word our sign, in parting bird or fiend, I shriek of starting. Get thee back into the tempest of the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as token of that lie souls. Leave my leave my loneliness unbroken. But above my door, take thy beat from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never letting, still is sitting, still is sitting on the pallid depths of palace just above my chamber door. And his eyes of all the seeming of demons that is dreaming. And the lamplight orm streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul, not that shadow that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted.
There we go. Incredible. I think he deserves a
Thanks.
round of applause for that. You're
Thank
definitely
you, Doc.
channeling Poe there. And I'm not just saying this to be nice, Micah. I really believe this. I've seen and heard Chris Lee, the great Christopher Lee, as well as the
Yep.
great Vincent Price reciting Poe. Doesn't even, they don't come even near this close to the embodiment that you present.
Thank you, Doc. That means the world. Well, I have good writers, so that what can I say? Yeah, that kid's got a future. So thank you, Doc. That means a lot coming from
It
you.
was just
Thank you.
amazing. I chose to show the whole thing rather just bits and pieces so that people could feel and experience what you were bringing forth there. So you're not only an actor. I was going to say just, you're not only an actor, but a playwright as well. You've written things, a magician. We'll share a little clip a little bit later of you being on my show. I'm not even going to attempt to have you try to convey where you're coming from when you're presenting Poe or anything, because we understand that you're channeling. You truly are channeling. You're embodying not just the words, but the spirit, the soul as well. And one can feel it. If they can't, they're not human. I'm sorry, that's absolutely true, which is a
Thanks,
strange
Doc.
term to use in human in this whole genre. However,
Yeah.
um, so I'm grateful. I'm so thankful for the actor, we'll say the actor that you are, but truly the channeler, the mystic, if you will. I would like to touch on, excuse me, if I may, something that I've been involved with thanks to you once a year. I believe it's every fall or so, and that's the Night of the Raven. Do you think there will be another fundraising Night of the Raven this year?
Doc, that's the $1 million question, and thank you for asking. And again, thank you for being such an important part of it. I think 3 years going in a row. Is that correct, Doc?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I think that's right. Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, I do this fundraiser every year called the Night of the Raven. It is inspired by the work of Edgar Allan Poe. And Dr. Michael has donated three different video clips, one for each year that he's been a part of. And even if you've never, I mean, most, if not all of you, are not in the LA area. Bill, I think you're more or less in the LA area, but everybody else, as Doc was saying, you guys are all over the world. You'll never get to experience this show, which kind of breaks my heart. But you could still see Dr. Michael's performances. He still has. Are they all still available on YouTube, Dr.
They
Michael? Where can they find
certainly
them?
are. I was just looking at a couple of them
Okay.
the other day, which I want to share with a couple of other post societies. I've had a couple of ladies on recently, and I'll share those with her as well, unless Holly has done that already. But I'm so blessed and fortunate that you said yes to me the first time because I really wanted to physically be a part of it, but. I'm not going to schlep down to LA. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's kind of like I've got a lot of stuff on the go. And I begged Micah. Well, no, I asked Micah. I begged him. And I said, Micah, could I be a part of it? Would you accept a video recording? And after a short while, he agreed. And I was so grateful. I was so thankful. So I was making one up anyway for general consumption, which is also the name of a wartime hero. In any case, I made one up for general consumption. Sometimes I just kill me. And I sent it off to you, and I was nervous. I was thinking, well, who am I? Are you going to dig this or what? If not, that's cool. And I got a reply back a short while later that you liked it and you were going to show it. And you did. And apparently it got good response, which I'm really grateful for as well. And then I thought, if you'll have me, I'd love to be a part of that in this way via video every year. So over subsequent years, I think a couple more, I was inspired by the Poe thing to do a video or Poe themed kind of magic illusion. And I will be sharing those again with the broad public. But if you want a sneak peek, go to YouTube, look me up and down, look me up and look up Poe, look up this miniature spirit cabinet. That was the first one that we sent to you. And I embody that. I've had a couple of recent comments, and you'll relate to this completely. And they said, "Oh, great scripting." There was no script.
Oh, nice,
You
nice.
know,
Well done, Doc.
I channeled it as well. And it's like, I really believe when I'm doing something of that nature, and hopefully it comes through okay. So apparently it does. So if you'll have me next time, and we will be checking up on you and hopefully promoting it a little bit more this year, then I'll certainly be motivated to do yet another video. But again, thank you so much, Micah, for including me in that. You always say I'm all over social media. I'm all over the map. But you do great promotions in and around the Night of the Raven. And some of them are quite funny because you've got pictures of us dressed up with monocles and such. In my case, you don't have to do much work, but nonetheless, so people will have access thanks to your promos for the Night of the Raven, but also I'll do my best as long as I see it or you remind me. You betcha I'm going to put that out everywhere. It is a fundraiser. Where do funds go to?
Again, thank you for asking. The last 5 years or so, they have been going to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And this was the idea of an opera singer who has been kind enough to donate her time and talent and her performances every year. Her name is Danielle Crook. And it's all because of her. And it's people like you who help generate interest and generate funds. And who knows, possibly save a life or two. So, Doc, thank you again so much for your time and your experience and your talent. It literally might be saving someone's life. So, thank you, Doc.
My pleasure and honor, of course, of course. I'd love to share with everyone another one of your, I was going to say gifts or talents or skills, but it is a gift. And that is of being a magician. And that's how I know you. And I was going to show this clip from the Penn and Teller show that you were on a few years ago because I saw it. I hope I don't embarrass you by saying this. I saw it and I loved it. I didn't know you at the time, but Sue and I, we were sitting and watching. And it's like I was stumped, but I wasn't because I like to look at magic or people performing magic almost as a layperson. I like to step back like a child, if you will, and look at it and feel something, right? Feel that same wonder as I did initially. And you did it. You had I love Allison Hannigan still. Of course, the current hostess is great as well, Brooke. But I love that you brought her in and she was kind of like the hero. She was the one divining, if you will, the information from a deck of cards, jumbo deck of cards. And it was just so well put together. Your experience really showed your skill and talent as a performer, not just as a magician, but you have the acting chops. You have a number of skills. I hope I'm not embarrassing you. If I am, too bad. But to create something beautiful, something perfect. So I'm going to invite people who are watching this on Facebook and off to look you up on YouTube. Look up Micah Cover Penn and Teller appearance, and you'll see that, and you'll go, I remember that, or you'll go, wow. Yes, I'd seen that before because it wasn't until I met you through open mic or the Tuesday Night Magic Theater that it's like, wait, Micah Cover, he looks so familiar. And then I Googled it with Sue, and it's like, oh my God, that's the same guy. Wow. So yeah, beautifully crafted, beautifully put together as another magician, but more so as an actor. I did have formal training there as well. One can really appreciate your pacing, your timing. You're a natural. And I wonder if you consciously script or if it also just comes. What do you do? How do you handle your magic?
Oh, that's a very good question. And thank you for letting me know you didn't script your stuff. Those video clips are just so well constructed. I just assumed that the whole thing was scripted. And as you know, that's part of our job to make things seem improvised even when they are scripted, and maybe some weird kind of vice versa, kind of like what you do, Doc. You're really improvising, but it sounds scripted. And so, especially with my performance on Penn and Teller, as you can guess, and mentalists like Tommy and everybody else can back me up on this. So much of, especially mentalism, is just watching what the other person does and riffing off of that. I know, Doc, when you bring in a volunteer, you don't always know what they're going to say. If you say pick a card, you expect them to pick a card. But if you are mentalism and you say pick a number, they could give you decimals or fractions or Roman numerals, imaginary numbers, and that's not even when they're medicated. So you have no idea what's going to happen. And especially as a mentalist, you really got to improvise, which requires you to listen to the other person, which is one of the definitions of acting, and certainly one of the definitions of storytelling, one of the definitions of magic. As you know, Doc, as you do so well, it's all related. So I hope I answered your question. But yeah, I script as much as I can, but so much of it depends on the other person. There's only so far you can go. Most of it is just listening to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, now I'll listen to you, Doc. Yeah.
And to be completely honest, I work with a framework of scripting. Can't even really call it scripting, but more motivation. So I look at an effect. Let's say, and I don't know if you've been watching the open mic. You've been certainly participating as a listener, and
Yeah.
then and we'll talk about that in a few seconds. But there was an effect involving ESP cards or Zener cards that I had just acquired, and I thought it was, I still do, one of the best ESP mentalism sort of effects or experiments, as I like to call them. But for me, the challenge is what are we trying to present? What is the point? What is the kicker, if you will? And take them on a little journey along the way. So I must, in my mind, initially when I'm rehearsing, and yes, I do rehearse, really the logic, because there has to be some sort of logic in this illogical genre, if you will. Okay, so in the audience's mind, this and this and this is going on, and then this and this is the finale or the climax or whatever. So I work within that framework. I always have, even when I had the TV shows. We didn't work from scripts. We worked from what I call a framework. Okay, so this segment of the show is the puppet theater show. This segment is the this and the that, and we'll have some ideas being creative people, or I like the term people are using nowadays. I'm saying nowadays, Micah. Yes, we're creatives, apparently. Not creative
I like
people, but
that.
we're creatives. And
I like that.
a certain amount, yes, is minorly, if that's a word, scripted. I use a framework, and then I'm working within that to feel the person or persons. And I love this whole genre, this whole open mic that we do through Zoom and that you participate in, because it reminds me of my old TV show. It feels like I'm doing television, but also I have to be aware of certain angles. I still have to be aware of what we say, our patter, if you will. And it's motivation every week to come up with something. Sometimes I work a couple of weeks in advance. And then with the blessing of having Cheryl as the medium, and she refuses to be called my assistant, and I won't call her my assistant, my partner in magic, then we often will come up with something, hopefully a little bit original. She's really the brains of the operation. I bring to the table the mechanics, okay, this is what I want to do, and she'll completely twist things around and add her own slant and maybe her own props or whatever. So I'm very, very blessed to have her. So, yes, scripting is important, but one has to be loose enough and confident enough to feel, to hear, and to go with what the other person is saying so many times. And I wonder if you'll agree with me on this. We'll actually have a person from the audience, be it virtual or otherwise, say something to us. But so many magicians will talk over that, not even respond or listen to that, and continue on with the trick, the effect, either because they're nervous or I don't know why. But you work with the people. You worked with Allison, and I haven't seen too many other than on these virtual shows. It's interaction, isn't it? It's about interacting with people.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. There are some magicians who can perform in a vacuum. like card manipulators, people who have like a ball routine, and that's fine. That is an art form, and I love it. But you're right, Doc, especially on Zoom, it's got to be interactive. We got to listen to each other as best as we can. And that's why I love doing the pre-show report for you guys every Wednesday, because you guys say fascinating stuff, Doc. And it is a pleasure to regurgitate it every week. But you summed it up. It is all interaction. That really sums up what we do.
Absolutely. And everyone who hasn't watched, if there's somebody somewhere in this universe who hasn't seen the Open Mic Magic Theater every Wednesday at, I'm going to do the plug, 1 p.m. LA, 4 p.m. New York time, 9 p.m. UK time. Look it up. This is how I look things up on the internet, maybe with little glasses, which I don't have, but or the wiggly fingers. But look it up. You won't be disappointed because, and I'm going to share this with them, with whoever's listening and watching. Micah's backstage, our virtual backstage, and he's listening. He's listening to stuff that we're saying pre-show. And you have your own segment that either Kevin or yourself came up with, and I think it's genius, regardless. Um, and then you'll feed back this hysterical stuff. And I was going to say, I don't know how you do it. I won't say I don't know why you do it, but I will say it's masterfully crafted and 99% of the time hysterical. The 1% is like scary because it's like, oh, is he going to talk about what I said? And I think that adds so much. Do you love doing it?
I do, and yeah, props to Kevin Peele. He has created. I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, Doc. But it dawned on me that Kevin Peele, who is, if you don't know, he is the producer and co-producer along with Rabina, and of course Tommy Burnett was one of the originators of this. Um, he puts on this open mic magic theater, and so he asks me to regurgitate what you find people say during my own segment. But it dawned on me, I don't know of any other opportunity and or art form where this occurs, where the performers and the attendees are intermingling, talking with each other a good half hour before the show. And then they continue to do so during the performance. That, as far as I know, that only happens on Zoom. Like I was thinking, even open mics in IRL, as the cool kids say, like comedy stand-up open mics, that kind of thing. It's very rare that even the comics are hanging out with the audience. It's even rare that they even say anything that happened before the show. But that's exactly what's happening on this Zoom performance every single week. I don't know anything else like it, where the audience and the attendees are making the entertainment happen even a half an hour before the performance. And I just repeat what you guys say. And I don't know where that happens anywhere else. And it's just I'm so grateful to Kevin for coming to me with this proposal. And I hope he lets me do it every week. It's just a pleasure to listen to you guys.
It's an honor to have you as well. And yes, he is a genius. I'm assuming
Yeah.
he's not in our audience because he'd be embarrassed, or would he, if we called him a genius? But we're all very, very grateful for him and for that show. I want to share a little bit of magic that you've done on my show, on my Friday Night Wizard Emporium, the first Friday of every month. Look it up on Facebook. But I will be plugging it a little bit later near the end. One of your appearances, recent appearances on my show, so people get an idea of the performing magic Micah. Everybody, I want you all to check it out.
Thank you, Doc. Oh, it's an honor to be here. My friends, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Come to the pre-show. It is almost as good as what you're about to see. Forget what I'm about to do. No, no, no. Come to the pre-show. Okay, so true story. I got to run back and forth, grabbing tea, grabbing a cough drop, getting ready. I don't get to hear everything. Uh, but as soon as I sat back in my chair and turned on the volume, I see Ian Flynn. Ian, where are you? Did we lose Ian? Where's Ian? He's gone. Oh, there he is. Ian, there he is. Oh, okay. All right. I thought we lost him. Okay. So he's not on camera right now, but I sit down. This is the first thing I see. Ian Fenn in his come hither lying down pose. We'll never know if the man owns pants. He's lying down in the Burt Reynolds, I'm on a couch, come hither, I'm naked underneath this t-shirt look. And the first thing he said, I have no context. He looks into the camera and all he says is, "Will you marry me?" And Rabina doesn't. Rabina does. I have no idea what they're talking about. Rabina doesn't miss a beat, and she says, "But you broke my heart, Ian Fenn, and now I'm proposing to your cat." I'm not making this up. This is exactly what happened. And then Rabina looks in the Brady Bunch configuration, looks directly at Tommy and says, "Tommy, you know that never works when you speak to me that way." And Tommy starts nervously stroking his beard. "But Rabina, I'm trying. We can make it work." It was the best episode of telenovela I've ever seen, and I didn't need subtitles. Thank you, Dr. Michael Leakey, for bringing this to us Caucasians so we can finally watch telenovela on our screen free. What's going to happen next month? I have no idea. I think Kevin Peele is going to hook up with Peanut. He's going to shack up with Peanut, live in sin with Peanut, but no spoilers. I didn't mean to spoil next season, Dr. Michael Leakey. Anyway, come to the pre-show. It's almost as good as what you're about to see, especially after me. So, Dr. Michael, it's an honor to be here. Peanut was so excited. Peanut's like, "Oh my God, someone's going to finally pay my rent." I don't blame you, Peanut. Yeah, I hope you and Kevin are very happy together, and I hope you both learn Spanish so I can see you on telenovela. Dr. Michael Leakey, can I have you on screen, please? My friend, you are my friend. Can I have you on screen, Dr. Michael Leakey? Yes, guys, give it
Absolutely
up for Dr. Michael
hysterical.
Leakey. Give it up for Dr.
Thank
Michael
you.
Leakey
Thank you,
for
Micah.
making
All
this.
that Micah said was true. And we're all very
And it happened.
self-conscious before the show because he eavesdrops and he listens to stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
just praying that he says it. He says it anyway.
yeah.
That's hysterical. Thank you.
You guys give me my best material, so thank you. All right, so here we go. Oh, Dr. Michael Leakey, yes, I almost forgot to preface this. I'm about to share with you the greatest magic trick of all time, say the wiggly fingers of mystery of all time. Dr. Michael Leakey, do you know how? Oh, wait, Peter John is setting up some sort of school assembly. I'm not going to be able to compete with that. Whatever Peter John has, I clearly cannot, whatever the heck that is, he's getting an A. And I'm getting sent home. That is the best school assembly I've ever seen. Anyway, Dr. Michael Leakey, this is the greatest trick ever. Do you know how I know, Dr. Michael Leakey? Do you know how I know?
How?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Because, and let me unblur this, because I am using the greatest book ever written, Dr. Michael Leakey. Yes, it's the greatest book ever written. And if you don't have this, shame on you. Yes, yes. I said, Dr. Michael Leakey, don't give away your secrets. Now they're going to use it for the dark side. And Dr. Michael Leakey just wiggled his fingers and said, "My plans are perfect." But he's Canadian, so he said it like he apologized at the same time. It was really weird. But anyway, yeah, look at now. I was going to kill the light. You can see the glare, but that's kind of the point. Look at how glossy this is. Hugh Hefner published this. You got to get Hugh Hefner gloss in order to get this kind of gloss. This is amazing. I don't know how you got Hugh Hefner to publish this, but it is an amazing book. If you don't have it, shame on you. Okay. Ooh, and I made a bookmark with your beautiful smiling face. So, Dr. Michael Leakey, here we go. I'm going to say go, and then you say stop. Go, say stop.
Stop.
Excellent. All right, here we go. Now, I'm not going to peek at where you said stop. I'm going to try to keep this in frame, but I'm not going to peek at the page number just yet. It doesn't really matter. You'll tell me a little bit later. And of course, Cheryl already knows because she's read the book and she knows how to read people's minds anyway. So I don't even know why I'm performing this. But the point is, do you want to go one up, one page down, or stay there, Dr. Michael Leakey? How do you feel?
I feel with my hands. Let's go one page up.
He feels with his hands, ladies. Dr. Michael Leakey. Oh, are you taken? Oh, man, you are every woman's dream. Okay, so one page up. Here we go. I'm going to go one. And again, I'm going to try not to look at the numbers yet, but I went one page up. And I'm going to. Now, the purpose of this is to block my view. but also I slid it in exactly where you said. That's fun to say on the internet. You're welcome. Anyway, I slid it in exactly where you said. And check this out. It's also going to block my view. Now I've got to position it just right so that you can see the page number. Now, Dr. Michael Likey, I'm looking away. It doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to show it in frame. Are you able to see the page number, Dr. Michael Likey? And if
More
you
or
can't,
less.
some maybe more or less. Okay, yeah. Who published this with this tiny writing? Yeah, who published this book with these tiny page numbers? How am I supposed to do a book test when the page numbers are so tiny? All right. So, Dr. Michael Legge, do you think you know or the page number, or can we get
I
a
think I
witness?
know. It's within a couple of pages for sure.
Within a cut, that's all we need. Give it up for Dr. Michael Likey. Give it up for Dr. Michael Likey. Very nice. All right, Dr. Michael Likey. Now, if you were here, and I wish you were, because I know how you love to feel with your hands, you would be taking this from, yes, you would be taking this from me. But yes, with the wiggly fingers of mystery, Dr. Michael Legge. Yes, 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 and the windshield wiper fingers of magic. So I would ask you to hold on to this. Yeah, very, very nice, Dr. Michael Legge. And by the way, as good as you are at that, you know who's even better? Tommy Burnett with the bus stop. I've never seen better bus stop moves with the thumbs. He is the funkiest Caucasian I know. Look at it. He's doing the bus stop. Look at it. Look at the funkiest Caucasian I know. Yes, you guys are amazing. Yes, once again, I guess this show is for Caucasians because we white folks, we love to do the bus stop and we love telenovela without Spanish. So anyway, but please, Dr. Michael Legge, this is not about me. This is about you. Can you tell me what page number you saw, Dr. Michael Legge? Do you remember?
I think it's around 43 or so. I may be right or wrong.
43. Perfect. Okay. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So here we go. It's around 43. Wait a minute, Dr. Michael Likey. I
Well,
think I see something strange in your book. I think I see
wow.
something strange. Now, this says 44. This says 47. Is it possible the page was 45, Dr. Michael Likey?
Yes, yes, it could
Yes, it
very
was.
well be.
It could very well be. And Dr. Michael Likey, do you happen to have, and this is how we know that we're friends because I literally know where you live, Dr. Michael Likey. Do you have some mail from me, sir? Do you have some mail? Yeah, magical Miss Charlie. She's like, I gotta hydrate for this. This better be
I
good.
have some
Yeah, we're
mail,
coming up on the end. This better be good.
maybe
Yeah,
some
you have some mail.
email as well. There's some mail. Should I open it?
Yes, please. Yes, open
Be-
open up the mail.
Because if I don't, there's no effect, is there?
That's right. So thanks for
Okay.
sticking to the script. Yes.
Aha,
All right.
aha. This looks
Aha.
suspiciously like a page out of my book, which is also a
Wait.
cliche saying, oh my goodness, with my handy dandy magnifying glass, it is page
Yeah.
45 on one side, page
Page 45.
46 on the other. Indeed.
Beautiful. Okay, so on
Wow.
my book here in America, we've got page 44. 45 and 46 is missing, and we're back to 47. And you were telling me that you have this missing page. Is that right, Dr. Michael Likey?
Correct.
Love it. And let's just make sure it is in fact the right page, not just a duplicate. My page 45 on the top of the page, and you might even be able to see it in my camera. The first word is in bold quotes. It says index, and then it says CA. Does your page begin with maybe RD or RDS at the top of your page in bold?
On which page, 45 or 46?
45.
Excellent. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. And then finally, on the bottom of my page, the last line says of HEA. And I'm betting the next letters are going to be RT or probably RTS. Do you have that on your bottom line?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it is
Let me just,
it is a match. And there it says 45. And then last thing, Dr. Michael Likey, on the page that was mailed to you that you
yes.
have in your hot little hands, do you see anything else that's unusual about that specific page, Dr. Michael Likey?
Surprisingly, some letters are circled.
Letters. Yes, and thank goodness they're not in Spanish. Can you read the letters out loud in order from left to right, top to bottom?
I will do that. T,
Yeah,
H, Anjsdoc.
Thanks, Doc. And guys, give Doc a big round of applause because he deserves it. Dr. Michael Leakey, it is a pleasure to open for you and these wonderful people. And everybody else after me, I expect you to do all of your routines in Spanish. So thank you so much, guys. Muchas gracias, amigas. And Dr. Michael, it's a pleasure to be here, man. Thank you so much.
Wow, I just love that effect, Micah. It's so my biggest worry, I don't know if you can feel my apprehension or my anxiety. I never want to mess up one of your effects. So it's like, oh, is there counting involved? Oh, is there sight? The sense of sight involved, or worse, hearing? Because they're virtually gone. They are non-existent with me. However, I can fake it really well. Um, Again, one of your most incredible appearances on my show. Very funny, very well crafted. As we start to wrap up, I want to talk about your GoFundMe for your play, The Last
Thank
Case
you.
of Dr. Watson. So, I have a graphic. I don't know if it's necessary. It's more or less like the one behind you. But here it is. It's part of it anyway. Your GoFundMe page for the last case of Dr. Watson, which sounds fascinating. How can people donate if they want to? How can people at least look at the page? What's the URL?
Oh, thank you for asking, Doc. You know what? I'm going to see if I can find that right now. I should have had that set up. But yeah, it's a means of paying my actors. And Doc, you've done theater, you've done community theater. You know that for all of the magic it creates, it's missing one thing: money.
Funding.
Yes, we don't have any money, and I'm yes, you know what I'm talking about.
I
We don't
do.
have any money, and yes, so I would love to pay my actors. I've already gotten a number of rejections from actors who don't want to be a part of it simply because there is no money involved, and the problem is I can't blame them. So I have asked people if they can to help contribute to the GoFundMe, and I think I found the link, so I'm going to put it in the chat. But I have been posting the link and information. Oh, that's right. The chat's disabled. But if you go to any of my social meds, you'll see that I've been posting about every day using that same graphic in most cases. And if you can contribute at all, we appreciate it. But I did talk about this on, I think it was the last most recent open mic magic theater. I was begging someone on the phone, can you
Yes.
please donate? Yes, and she said, I don't know, I'll check my bank account. And she never did contribute. That was my mom. So that is the status of current theater. That's how broke we are. That's how little money we have. If you can contribute so that I can pay my actors so that I can make it worth their time, I would appreciate it. But either way, Doc, I appreciate the shout out for the play because any support, even just verbal, makes a difference. So thank you, Doc.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I know how tough it can be when I used to produce my own magic stage shows years ago, do the sets
Yeah.
ourselves or get volunteers and everything produced direct right, and let alone also get our assistants paid as well.
Yep.
Without assistance, if you will, there can be no play, there can be no funding. So please go to Micah's GoFundMe page. The address will be at the bottom here somewhere in the post-production version of this, so they'll all see that for sure. Micah
Thank
Cover,
you.
thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you,
time
Doc.
to be on this show. Do you even know how appreciated you are? I'm not sure. I'm not sure you do.
Doc, I love you. I love everything you do. And guys, please give Doc a round of applause for making this happen week after week. It is an honor to be a part of this, Doc. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Lots of applause for Micah Cover as well, who we can catch all over social media as well. Parting words, Facebook, Instagram. How can they reach you?
All of it, yes. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on X. Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'm on Threads. I'm on the whole thing. And of course, you can always just find my website, micahthemagician.com. And I would love to hear from you. And especially, I want to thank each and every one of you for attending this wonderful program that Doc puts on every single week. I don't know how you do it. Even Fenn
There it
has
is.
disabled the disablements, and he has put in the link. Thank you, Ian Fenn. Thank you so much, brother.
He's a wizard.
Yes.
He's a wizard. Thank you
He
once
is.
again, the great Micah Cover. Let's put our hands together for him. And we'll see you on Wednesday on the Open Mic Magic Theater, hopefully, right?
Yes, Doc. It's always a pleasure to see all of you. And guys, thanks again for coming. It means a lot. And thank you, Doc.
Thank you. The great Micah Cover. Wow. He is so versatile. I didn't even get to mention his martial arts type of postings that he does as well, where he's blindfolded and he juggles on a plank that's on a can and does somersaults and all this sort of thing. It's just amazing. It requires a whole other set of skills as well. So thank you once again, Micah. We have lots of other things to promote as well this day coming up July 4th. In just a week, on the Friday, July 4th, we've got and I was fishing for the graphics, I couldn't find it. My Friday Night Wizard Emporium, featuring Raven Luck Magic, Franklin Williams, the Magical Ms. Charlie, Peter John, Strange Gambits, which is myself and Cheryl, John the Great, Robina the Enchantress, Tommy Burnett, and Kevin Peel all in one show. We call this some of the world's greatest magicians, and we're thankful for their participation. It's always free. Just go to my Facebook page, MAJICK Magic dot Mike dot Likey, Likey, for more details for how to get your free Zoom link, and it also live streams. Always 1 p.m. LA, 4 p.m. New York, 9 p.m. UK time. That's coming up in just a few days. That's amazing. Someone we love who's near and dear to all of us, the great Tommy Burnett. Yes, I said great Tommy, whether you like it or not. The great Tommy Burnett has his latest tome available, Beneath the Surface. Um, I'm quoting him, real methods, real meaning, real impact. It's available from his website, Magic Taboo, MAGIC, all one word, TABOO, magictaboo.com. You want to get that if you're a magician. And really, it doesn't matter if you're into mentalism, bizarre magic, or regular magic. The psychology, the pacing, the techniques in it are awesome. And he's coming on in about a month on this very show. We're going to talk in depth about some of the techniques in that book. As well, a personal and professional friend of ours, Holly Knightley. She's a friend of the Open Mic Magic Theater of this show. She has, and we actually bought Giggles. It's one of her mystery tales, we'll call them. It's really horror and it's funny, but it's funny and it's horror. It's out on audiobook now on Amazon and on Audible. It's called Giggles, Giggles. Check it out. You won't be sorry. The Open Mic Magic Theater, my goodness, is also coming up in just a few days every Wednesday. You want to look it up on Facebook, Open Mic Magic Theater. Myself and a slew of incredibly more gifted entertainers than myself are involved with it, including the great Micah Cover rather, Tommy Burnett. Virtually everyone that was on my Friday night list is on that show as well. Robina the Enchantress, the wonderful Peter John as well. So we'll look forward to performing live for you on Wednesday on Open Mic Magic Theater. I think I've run out of stuff. No, Tommy, I did not forget. July 20th on my birthday, I have the honor of watching his presentation. It's a whole show online and it's called Beneath the Veil. He calls it a mysterious demonstration of the weird and bizarre. You have to catch that. Very reasonable, $15. Tickets are available at the address below, and you want to be getting your tickets and show up for that July 20th. I'll nag all of you as well as the time comes closer. And yes, my first erotic gothic horror novel, Blood Relations, is coming soon. I will share the video with you, which I just put together before we came to air. Check it out. I think you'll like it. In fact, I know you'll like it. There we go. Just a quick promo for that. That should be out in a couple of weeks on Amazon, available broadly. I will nag all of you as well, like I always do. I'm so grateful and thankful for our guests. I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you that take the time to watch on Facebook or here in-house. I like to say in-house. We do it all for you. Check out my website for more stuff, more information, contests. It's oh dear, what is it? It's all one word, magicmikelikey.com, Magick. Magick, Mike Likey, all one word, .com. And you can see videos, you can see all kinds of stuff. I hope you do visit us as well. So that's about it. I want to thank all of you. So grateful for all of you for coming. We'll see you all next time. Same time. It is indeed 1 o'clock LA time, 4 p.m. New York time, 9 p.m. UK time. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.